Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with today's Timeless Tarot for September the 4th of 2025, but this is a Timeless Tarot reading, so whenever you find it is exactly when it was meant to find you. We will be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, 8 cards from the Divine Masculine in accordance with the 8 human chakras and walking the path of the tarot, so that we can get a better understanding of how best to manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. I've already done a pre-shuffle, but I like to get a couple more just to make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. And now we will begin pulling with the base. And in the base we have the 8 of Pentacles. In the solar plexus we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. In the sacral we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. In the solar plexus we have the Chariot in reverse. In the heart we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. In the throat, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of challenge today. In the third eye, this was the throat in reverse. This is the third eye. It is the 3 of Cups in reverse. And in the crown, we have, that's the 8. Oh no, that is the 10 of Pentacles. And we will save the 8th card from the Divine Feminine for the end of the read. Next, we will pull 8 cards from the Divine Masculine. The Divine Feminine, the cards that are already on the table, let us know what the current energies are, the current problems, the current situations. The Divine Masculine lets us know what steps and actions that we can take in order to positively manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. And that was a complete refusal of that, so I'm going to give this one a spin and we will see how it does now. Sometimes they get rejected. That means that you need to do something different. There we go. Alrighty. Now we will begin pulling in the crown. And in the crown we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. In the third eye we have the moon in standing tall. In the throat we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. In the heart we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the 4 of Wands. In the sacral, we have the 10 of Cups. And in the base, we have Judgment. Excellent. And we will save the 8th card, the Divine Masculine, for the end of the read as well. Y'all go ahead and drop in the box down below what you think that these cards will be, considering what else is on the table. This will be a message from the Divine that will summarize the new path that is appearing. All right, let's walk the path of the tarot and see what's going on today. We begin in the crown. This is the area of realization. This is where you even realize that there is the possibility of a path. It is not making the decision about the path. It is realizing it is there. This is the area that deals with your hopes and your fears. Those things you wish come true, those things you hope do not. Both of them reside here. Neither one should have absolute power in your life. You have... Now, this is the area where you receive your path from the Divine. You feel responsible for this, and you interpret your message through this. And what is your message for your current situation? Generational provision. Now, this has been a theme. We have a repeat of this. This, when it is standing upright, as it is, means that you are either in a period of abundance, or that period of abundance is about to unfold for you. This is in a hope. You're probably not despairing about getting provided for, so this is probably hope, which means that it is a little bit farther in the future than the feminine normally indicates, right? And so because a hope is not now, it is in the future. And so while this is the present situation, this is the realization that the path of provision is there. This is a 10. 10s are learning things. This is about learning about provision. Provision, because this is a pentacle card. Now, pentacle is body. It is all of the things that you can sense. And it is, do you have a home? Do you have a job? Do you have food? Do you have money? Are you provided for? It is the path of provision. This is the higher path of provision. This is learning about the higher path of provision. And the higher path of provision is generational wealth. It is being the authority at work, right? Which may come up in a minute. And it is doing the right things to provide for your generations. That is what this symbolizes. This is your hope. and it is the message from the divine to you. Now, what steps can you take? What actions can be done to help manifest that? This is the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands is about making a decision. Once you have an awareness that there is something, you make a decision about it. Either to go with it or to not. Either one is valid. It is your choice. This is a decision about change because it is a 2 and it is Wands. Wands are spirit. They are fire. They are life, light, logos, change, as well as intuition. Now, this is an intuition card in an intuition spot. It may indicate change, but it is probably making a decision about your intuition dealing with the provisionary path. Now, this guy is sitting there in a spirit of isolation. He is by himself. He has decided to send the ships out, and he doesn't know whether they're coming back or not. He is not learning anything yet. That would be the next card. This is him making the decisions to send out his ships. Now, that is an intuitive leap. I am making the decision to send this ship there is you intuitively deciding, right? So, intuition card, intuition spot. This is in the reverse. Now, this indicates that you are already presented with a decision, right? This is you being presented with a decision. This is that the decision is already there. This can indicate that you have already had the intuitive leap that will lead to your hopes coming to fruition, and maybe you are not taking action in it. Generally speaking, when we're dealing with a masculine card, what we're talking about when it is upright, you go do this, right? This is you going forward and doing. This is let that come to you. And so this decision may not require your active seeking it out, right? This, again, is from the divine, and so this active card is a little bit less active than some of the others. Now, we go to decision. This is the area where you make a decision. Am I walking that path, or am I not? Either one are valid. This is the area that deals with sloth and diligence. When you make the decision to walk the path, you actually have to walk it, right? That would be diligence. Or you can decide not to, equally valid. That would be sloth. You are meant to be in the balance between, right? You are meant to work hard, but not all of the time. In your current situation is a spirit of non-cooperation, a little bit of disharmony. This is a 3 of Cups. Now, 3 is about learning. Once you make a choice, you learn about what that is. How do I go about doing these things? If you're making the choice for new, there are lessons to learn about the new. If you're making the choice for old, there are still lessons to learn about the old. This is a 3 of Cups, and cups are about body, spirit. They are water. They are your feelings. It is familial connections, spousal connections, co-worker connections, and friendships, but it is not the actual people. It is the feelings attached behind it. It is the connections that you make. This is the spirit of cooperation. When it is presented in the upright, these 3 ladies are raising their 3 cups in celebration. This is the spirit of cooperation around celebration, which would be a feeling. This is being presented to you in the reverse, which indicates that you may not be feeling a spirit of cooperation. That does not mean that you do not desire one. That means that you are not feeling one right now. You don't feel like you are engaged in a group that is making the correct choices, that is doing the right things, right? You don't feel celebratory. There is no spirit of cooperation around what you are doing. You may want it to, and as a matter of fact, you probably do, because it is the 3, it is the cups, it is what you desire, right? You see your future with your third eye. That is you intuiting, right? These 2 spots both are intuition. This is you intuiting what you want to do in your life, making that choice with intuition. And so this is what you want. This is how you empower it, and this is where you take steps for it. This is you probably wanting a spirit of cooperation, most especially because of the clarification. We've got the moon. Now the moon is an 18, I believe. Yeah, 18 card. So the 18 card is going to be about understanding. Once you learn something, It's time to understand, and by understanding, you can rise to meet the challenge. This is coming to an understanding. This is the 18, which means that it is the highest level. That is going to be cups. And so you have 2 cups here about feelings in your future. Now, this one is not directly cups. It is the clarifier for the page of cups, but it is tangentially related to cups, so I do mention it. What is happening here is that there is change affecting in the life. You have the sun and the moon, right? This represents the moon. It is the moon card, but the moon is this little crescent in here, and it is surrounded by the sun. This can be taken as an eclipse card. That is not a normal interpretation. That is one that is pretty much just me. What we also see is the 2 towers symbolizing the light and the dark. And directly between them is a path that runs down to this water. And on one side you have a wolf, on the other side you have a dog, indicating the animalistic and the domesticated side of man. And then down here at the bottom, all the way at the bottom, there's a little crawfish coming out of the water. He is fully armored. He is able to take care of himself, but he is coming out of his comfort zone. He is embracing change. He is going forward into the change. This is also considered an illusion card. There may be an illusory effect here. If it was in communications, it might indicate deceit. This is most likely you coming out of your comfort zone in order to attain a spirit of cooperation. It does appear that you are trying to create one. You just have not yet. This is you doing that, right? This is you changing to embrace a spirit of cooperation, and you are making a decision to do so. Next, we go to lessons. This is the area of communication. This is the throat. It is the area that deals with pride and humility. Pride is taking too much credit for your work. Humility is not taking enough credit for your work, and neither one are intrinsically good. This is about learning lessons because lessons come from communication, either with other people or with the world. Either way, there is something to learn. This is about learning and the lessons that you have coming, and it is about communication. You have your first challenge card. This is the Knight of Pentacles, right? So this is a challenge around a profession. The Knights indicate challenges. They are rise to meet this challenge. Go forth and fight. That is what the Knight symbolizes. This is a 5 on a higher level. The Knight of Pentacles is not moving. He is facing forward and he is contemplating all of the possibilities of the world to choose the appropriate one. He has the understanding so that he can rise to meet the appropriate challenge. This is a challenge in a provisionary path related to communications that you are facing. Now, when it is presented upright, as we said, it is go forth and do, right? When it is presented in the reverse, it is generally speaking, let it come to you. And so this is a communication about provision that is challenging, that you kind of need to let come to you. Now, you do have embracing the change around a spirit of cooperation. This could be a challenge of allowing yourself to open up to that, right? That would be like if it was a business partnership, this would be a challenge of allowing yourself to have that. But it is provisionary. Like there is something about communication in the provisionary path that is challenging. And the way that you overcome it is by understanding that there is a different way. Now, this is the card of hard work and dedication. This is the 8 of Pentacles, which indicates the brand new path, right? The way that it works is you go 1, you see it. 2, you make a decision. 3, you learn. 4, you understand. 5, you rise to meet the challenges. 6, you give the nurture so that you can achieve the harvest. And then you get a brand new path. This is the presentation of the brand new path. This is the understanding of the higher path of provision. And this higher path of provision is generational type thing. This is stepping into authority. This is becoming the boss. This is making the calls, doing the things, right? This is you working hard on what you already have been doing. He has right here 6 pentacles. He has 1 under his feet and he is working on 1, right? This is a future project. This is the current project, and these are the ones that he has already been doing, and they're all exactly the same. This is hard work and dedication. Keep doing what you are doing, and you will achieve the result of the higher path of generation. This indicates that there may be a bit of a change necessary in the higher path, right? This is not continue doing what you're doing. This is do something new. In the provisionary path that you are just now realizing, that might be a little bit challenging in the provisionary path. Maybe. And so these cards really do play together. This can be challenging there. Both of them are presented in the reverse, which indicates that it is coming to you and you are not going to it. Next, we go to understanding. Once you have learned the lesson, you get to understand it so that you can rise to meet the challenge. This is your core being. This is who you are, but it is also interpersonal relationships. This deals with greed and charity, which is holding on to the things of the mortal coil too much, loving the as below trinity. That would be greed. Charity is loving the as above trinity, and neither one are intrinsically good. You are meant to have things, not all of the things. You are meant to give things away, but not all of the things. This is interpersonal relationships because greed and charity are intricately linked to that. You are either being greedy with someone else or you're not, right? Money is an exchange for time, so if you're being greedy, it is about your time. This is interpersonal relationships, but it is also your core being. This is who you are. It is the part that ties together the as below and the as above to allow manifestation to happen. And you have a path, right? This and this 8 are the same thing on different levels, right? This is the presentation of the first path. This is the presentation of the second path. Both of them provisionary. This is a link. They might be related. This is a link. They might be related, right? This is you on the provisionary path, learning about it. This is you rising to the challenge of this particular, like these are the same. Now this is the first path, right? But you are already on it, right? This is the presentation. When it is presented upright, the ace is the presentation of the new. It doesn't matter which ace it is something new. This is the presentation of the earthly things, the presentation of the sensing things, the presentation of provision. And so when it is upright, this is the divine providing for you, giving you a brand new path for provision. This is not a brand new path, right? This is not. This is continuing on the path that you are already on. This is finishing up even, but a lot less of that energy. That would be more of a 6 or a queen. And so this is a path that you are aware of. It is not new. You may not be on it already because you are being told to do something new. This is the awareness of it. This is the understanding of it, right? This is the central trunk, again referring to that, right? Because you have here in the central trunk, you've got the 8, which is this, which is the presentation of a new path, the presentation of a new path, and understanding that new path. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse indicates that you probably already know it. Now, remember I said the Queen energy? You got a Queen. Now, this is the Queen of Cups. That is around emotions, connections. Maybe you need to foster some connections. Maybe you need to nurture them. The Queen is about nurturing. You have just overcome a challenge. You're not quite to the harvest. It is the equivalent of the 6. This is giving the appropriate energy in the appropriate way to get to the appropriate harvest. When she is standing tall, she represents the divine feminine, fully developed in her maturity about emotions, right? This is cups, and connections. You have it in the reverse, which can indicate a little bit of immaturity in that particular area. This indicates nurture, give the appropriate energy to get to the appropriate harvest. This can indicate less of that energy, not giving the nurturing energy. Now, if this is the path that you're already aware of, this is not giving the energy to the path that you're already aware of. This is in your core being, what you are trying to create. This is in the path of manifestation. And so you already know about this. There is something to nurture. Now, this in the reverse can mean either you are already doing the nurturing or that you do not need to do the nurturing. If it was upright, it's go out and do. If it's in the reverse, it's indicating the opposite. And so either you are already nurturing this path that you already know about, or this is you not giving the understanding, not giving, or the the nurturing energy too. I don't know your particular situation. It could be either one. We'll see if we get further clarification through the divine for that. Next, we go to challenges. This is once you understand something, you can rise to meet the challenge before you get to the nurturing energy. This is the area that deals with gluttony and temperance, the overconsumption of things, the underconsumption of things. Neither one is intrinsically good. The fuel that you choose is the part that empowers everything to work. This is where your food gets changed into fuel. It's the solar plexus. These are the challenges that are facing you, and you have change. Now this change is that's a 7. This is the change of the harvest. Now, this is change that you have control over when it is presented in the upright. This guy is riding his chariot of divine providence, and he has yoked to his chariot both the light and the dark in equal measure. They are pulling him towards his destination under his control. This is the end of the path of provision. This is the clarifier for the King of Pentacles. And so this indicates a harvest, the completion, sudden change. In the reverse, it is slower change, it is uncontrolled change, or it is change not happening. It is less likely that it is change not happening because of all the presentation of the new that you have. It does appear that there is change. It's a little bit slow rolling, right? That's what the feel for this one is. Now, how can you change that? How can you make that change come here a little bit quicker? Because you are in charge of this one. You got the 4 of Wands. You want to know what the 4 of Wands is? This is one of the marriage cards in the tarot. It's not the marriage card. That would be the Lovers. It's not even the second one. That would be the 2 of Cups. But this is the third one. This is the 4 of Wands, and these two people are celebrating what could be a union. Right? That's why it's so far down in the scale. It's not necessarily a union, but it could be. But they are celebrating because they understand something about the change or the intuition. This is also a spirit of cooperation card. Now, you have over here presented in the opposite direction on the opposite side of the path. Right? This is what is this path? This is seeing it, empowering it, and giving the fuel. So on the opposite side of your giving the fuel and seeing where you want to go, you have presented in the reverse in your current situation that you do not have a spirit of cooperation. And on the opposite side of giving the fuel to your vision, you have embracing the spirit of cooperation, understanding that the cooperation is the necessity, is what is going to allow you to turn this chariot around and bring the change in faster. Next, we're going to go to the area of physical desires. This is what you are trying to create in the world. It can be children. It deals with chastity and lust, the giving away of physical affection, the not returning of the physical affection. Neither one is intrinsically good. This is also what you want to create. You envision something with your third eye. You empower it through your heart. You take physical steps, practical application, going forth and creating the actual physical desire. So it's not necessarily sexually related unless there is an indicator for that type of energy. But this is what you want to create. If you have a business that you wanted to have, you see it here, you invest your energy, make the decision, say that you want it, all of those things for manifestation, and then you take positive steps here. You write your business plan, you go out and secure the funding, you find the location, you secure the goods, the physical steps. You got to rise to the challenge about an emotion. You're about to get another one of those things, right? This is a Knight. Knights are about the challenge. This is the Knight of Cups. That is about an emotional challenge or a connection challenge. You do have several indicators that you might want some connections. When it is presented upright, he is walking into the future. He is not charging into the future. This is slow, methodical progress. He is contemplating this cup, which is filled with the emotions and the connections that he is desiring. Right? He is rising to meet the challenge of these emotions by going forward slowly and methodically. You have this in the reverse, which indicates that in your current situation, you are facing a challenge around an emotional connection situation. But you are not actively meeting that challenge. You are facing it, but you are not meeting it. That is your current situation because this is the divine feminine. But what you have to clarify that is the Ten of Cups. Now, we saw a 10 already. 10s are about generational provision. What we see here is generational provision of the emotions or connections. This is these two people and their two children celebrating all of the good emotions in front of their home. This is generational provision on an emotional level. This is being presented in the upright. This is being presented as your advice on what to do about rising to meet this challenge that you have facing you here in your physical desires. This is telling you again that this connection, right, in conjunction with this card and with this card, this presentation of the new thing, the understanding of the emotions or the nurturing of the emotions, this is a connection, right? This is either you reaching out, and it does not appear to be you reaching out, right? This is communication. This is the cord. This would be that particular pathway, right? Communication, manifestation, physical application. It does not appear that it is you making the communication. It appears that it is going to come to you, but you need to embrace it. That is what I am getting from this. Next, we go to results. This is the harvest. The harvest of the first path, right before you realize that there is a higher path, something to do with that harvest. This is love and wrath, because those are the base emotions. Everybody wants to be loved. Nobody wants to be hated. But not having your love returned, drives you to wrath. Neither one of those are intrinsically good. However, you should not be giving love where it is not due. What you have here in your path of revision is to keep your head down and continue working. This is an opposite implication of this one, but these cards are not in a path, right? Normally when we get presented with doubles, they are somewhere in the same path. We have seen that repeatedly. This is a path, this is a path, this is a path, there's an X path. This is not a path. And so these are not the same thing, even though they are being presented together. There is something about the presentation. Whenever they are pointed out, there is something about it. But this is not an intrinsic value, right? If it was in a path together, then it would be. But this is you keeping your head down and continuing in what you are doing so that this one, which is you doing something different, can evolve, right? Now, clarifying that, and I'm not going to spend too much time on the 8 because we already did. You've got the 20 of the major arcana. This is one step from the final harvest. This is a call into a new life. Now, this is the presentation of a new path. This is the presentation of stepping into authority. Prior to this worker worked for someone else. Now he works for himself. This is the higher path of physical attainment in the provisions, right? Now, this is the last step, giving the appropriate energy to reach the final harvest of this path. But this is also calling into a new life. This is a complete change from the old life. The new life is coming. This, right? This is your active in your harvest. This is giving the appropriate energy to reach the harvest, and this is the realization of a new path. Right, this new path is a new life in the path of provision. Now, this is an emotional situation, right? This is the clarifier for the Queen of Cups, which is right here in the same path. I wonder if maybe that's related. Right? Now, this one's in the reverse, this one's upright, but that's not even that important right here. This is you giving the appropriate energy in the appropriate way to reach the appropriate harvest. This is you taking the first step after the harvest in your current situation. And so it does appear that there is a provision, right? You had provision up here, you had provision down here. This is core existence, this is body, this is provision. Now we're going to go to the divine. Did you drop your guess in the box down below? If not, do it right now. I'm going to go ahead and make a guess. This, in your current situation, is probably the lovers. This is probably going to be something about a partnership, because there is an overarching energy that you want one, that you are looking for one, and that will be beneficial. Or this is going to be the King of Pentacles, which is the provisionary path finishing up, and the new, or the best harvest. So let's see what it is. Ooh, the Three of Swords. I was not expecting that. Okay, so The Three of Swords is about heartbreak. It is about betrayal. It is about learning something about... This is the first sword we had presented too. Wow. All right, now this is a thought or a communication. We do have a communication energy here, right? But this is a 3. The 3 is going to be learning something. This is a sword, and swords are soul. They are air. They are thought and intellect. They are communications, and they are combat. This is the presentation of a new path, right? This is the one repeated on a higher level. This is a spirit of heartbreak is how it is often viewed, right? There's another card more for betrayal, but heartbreak and betrayal, like this guy has been stabbed 3 times in his heart. So there may be some indication of that, but this can be a self-limiting doubt, right? You have something to learn about your thoughts in your heart, your core existence. It does not have to do with someone else, but generally speaking, the 3s do, right? We have the spirit of cooperation right here. The 3 of Wands is a spirit of isolation. This is a spirit of isolation, and the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles is also a cooperation card. So you have 2 that are cooperation, 2 that are not. This is a not. Right now, you have this new path unfolding around your area of communication. It does appear from all of this that there will be a communication coming to you about a partnership, possibly. This might indicate that that's not even a good idea, right? It's something you desire, kind of, but this is in the reverse. So, like the 3 of Cups in reverse is a spirit of non-cooperation. The 3 of Swords is the same thing. This is a spirit of non-cooperation presented in the upright, and it is. All right, well, that changes what I was going to guess for the Divine, Masculine. If this is non-cooperation, I'm going to go with the Harvest again, because there is Harvest energy here, but the Page of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so the Page of Pentacles is about reaching an understanding around the provisionary path and letting it come to you. Now, when it is upright, this is you actively seeking the understanding about the provision in your life. This is the higher path, the path of authority, the path of generational provision. This is who understands what you learn right here. This is you actively doing what is told right here. And so this can indicate provision, right? This is understanding the higher provisionary path, right? This is not as much as the harvest would be, but this is still understanding provision on a higher level. This can be you not understanding provision on the higher level. Now, this is the active in the new path. I don't understand what you don't understand about this. Now, this can be tied to a self-limiting belief, right? If you do not understand how to use money, you're not going to be ready to use it on the higher path. There can be a self-limiting understanding. That would put these together fairly well. But if we look at these 2 cards in conjunction with everything else that is on the deck, what we see is that there is a spirit of non-cooperation. You may feel a little bit betrayed around a situation. You may not be open to new communications. It does appear, right? It's so weird because it's kind of an iffy, a wishy-washy, a back and forth. There is you wanting this, and then there is, maybe this is the wrong opportunity. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this particular opportunity that is about to unfold in your life is not the correct one to bring you to the next level in your life. Maybe whoever is about to reach out to you is not who you should associate with. That does seem to be the energy that we're receiving here. It's not that you don't want it. You do. You have that you want it. So it's got to be that it's being presented in the wrong way. That's what the challenge is going to be. That it is being presented in the wrong way, because you do have a challenge around a connection in the reverse, right? You do have the change of the harvest in the reverse. You do have the marriage card over here in your physical or in your challenges. And so this can be that it is the wrong connection. Like that even seems to be what it is. And so maybe this particular opportunity is not the one that you want to take. Overall, right, there is generational provision. There is a presentation of a new path. There is the understanding of it even. There is embracing change in two places in your physical and in the creation manifestation triangle. And so it does appear that you are seeking change. You are seeking generational provision, and that is about to unfold. A little bit less on the cooperative energy. And so that's going to bring us to the end of the read. Hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment. Whether you agree or disagree with anything that was said, or if you got some enlightening information, drop them in the box down below. And if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.